Okay, good afternoon, ladies. We just want to apologize on the glitch. We are expecting other ladies to come through. But in the meantime, for all of us that are here, thank you very much for the patience. We apologize for the glitch. We're not sure what happened, but finally we are here. My name is Mopo Mushwana. I'll be directing the program for today. The session, today's session is understanding the principles of forgiveness and engaging. We are going to be engaging with the author. Just a few reminders before we start. If you could please mute your microphone on your device when you're not talking. And if you have the bandwidth, please keep your videos on for those who are able to, and also to please mute your cell phones. Today, the session is session number 7. We are on relationships. The book is Total Forgiveness Possible by Maria Mufamadi. And the session's objectives are just to understanding the principles of forgiveness and engaging with the author. Today, the 30th of July, we should have started at 3 o'clock. Apologies, we started 24 minutes later. As I indicated, a few recorded for our participants to be able to watch sessions when they have electricity, internet, or technical difficulties. We are just thinking about those who are not able to connect now. We are recording. It will be available on our ImPower'd Women Book Club YouTube channel and by to being recorded. Sessions where we are trying to just take people through what to do to join. It's our eco sessions. Mlalo, I'm not sure if you want us to go through that, because I think you're just indicating what people do to join from the respective areas. The sessions taking you through how to register or connect via eco, and what it does with phone, putting your phone on silence, the do's and don'ts, raise your hand to ask a question, and please make this information. That's certainly going to be done. So at the end of the session, there is going to be a form just to give us feedback. It's very important for us. This is just going to be a short 1 to 2 minute feedback form, which will be shared at the end of the session. Please answer and help us improve. Thank you very much. We are celebrating, we went through and empowered women. I've indicated my name is Mopo. I'll be facilitating the program today. And I think briefly it's just to appreciate and thank everyone for being here. I think what's important for me is to also appreciate the lady of the house, Memulalo. Thank you for, organizing this and allowing us to be a part of this, which is very, very empowering, ladies. We have women out there who are really working very hard to ensure that other women get empowered. And I really, yeah, thank you very much. And you are empowering other women to do the same, to be the same again with women like all of us. Going now to would you like us, Malala, to do the eco model, amplification, use technology to leverage scarce resources and case-based learning to master complex. I don't know if you want us to go through that. Malala, just indicate, please, ma'am.
Yes, we can go through that. I think we've just covered that. It's just to
okay.
To show that we're using
in front of us is the eco model.
Different cases.
Okay. So we basically we have the the ecosystem, the eco model amplification. We use technology to leverage scarce resources, and it's amazing what technology can do. It connects us from all over the world. Wherever you are, you're most welcome to join. Disparities and case-based learning outcomes. So it's very easy. All this information is going to go into the database. We are all going to be able to get the information. I've realized as we started the program, it's already showing what other sessions we had and get all that information. So it's amazing what the eco model is actually doing to empower us as women. I know certain ladies have got this fear of technology, but this, I promise you, if you keep starting, trying, you will become a better person with time. Now, on the Empowered Women Book Club, just to say, the Empowered Women is a registered nonprofit organization working for the rights and empowerment of women. Our aim is to empower educators, where we read one book per month and review last Sunday of the month. Empowered Kids Reading Clubs meet once every week, where women read with their children and children within their communities. Our net a member of the Literacy Association of South Africa. That is amazing, because I read somewhere, I think it's about a year now, this Empowered started. We are at 370 women. No, that's great. It's Viva. And even more still coming. Okay, ladies, I see there now. I see there's yourself, Mulalo, the lady in the front, in the forefront. There's Pusi Ngwenya, there's Itumeleng May, there is Larato Refile Mongali or Mohali, and then there's Wusani Mandiwana. Ladies, if there is anyone I have skipped, you are all very, very important and all welcome to this program. Sorry. All of you are what makes this very critical, very important. And the efforts that we make are making this place to never be the same again. As we go out and talk about this, we call in more women to become enlightened. I don't know if maybe I could just share this. It's what we call social capital. Social capital is you benefiting from what I have. Some of you here do not know me. You're only knowing me today. And there is something you can benefit by having known me today. There's a lot I can benefit from knowing you today, and going forward, we become a stronger party, a stronger group of women who are going to influence other women to become stronger. So that's basically what we're doing. We're building that social capital to make us better people, a better families, better communities, and a better South Africa as time goes on. So that's basically the introductions. I think we'll go to the what makes forgiveness difficult. And this we're going to be taken through by Mebusisi Ngwenya. Thank you very much. I'm not sure if perhaps you've got your background that you'd like to share with us, but as I've introduced you, I think let's just go to the didactic. What makes forgiveness difficult? I'm not sure, Mulalo, please indicate if you'd like us to continue, despite the fact that I see the author is not in as yet. I do believe she will be joining us anytime now.
Yes, we can continue. I see Busi is unmuted. We just hand over to her and then we take it from there.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you, Busi. Please take over. Thank you very much.
Okay, no, thank you very much, and thank you for the opportunity given. I wanted to start with a quote that I found, which says, "Forgiveness is a strange thing. It can sometimes be easier to forgive our enemies than our friends. And it can also be the hardest of all to forgive people that we love or are closer to us." And as we open this, I thought I'll give 4 scenarios based on this topic that I've chosen. The first scenario, which was a speech by a visiting reverend. So he was telling us that his friend was burnt by his wife, like his wife boiled, pouring water over his back. And when she was asked, "Why did you do that?" And she said, "You remember 10 years ago, you did this and this and this to me." I'll leave that for now there, and I'll go back to it, why I chose this matter. The second matter that I was looking at was Mr. Mandela when he came out of prison. And he told mostly Black people to say, "Put down your weapons." And these were people, especially young people, who were paying for blood, and they were ready now to, fight for the land, take back the land, and deal with the oppressor. And what he said to them is that, "Put down your weapons, go back to school." And the issue of reconciliation was driven then, and there was the issue of Rainbow Nation, Ubuntu, and TRC happened. And then the third matter that I looked at was that of baby Tsepang. I don't know, some of you may not remember this, but this was a 9-month-old baby who was raped by some men, and a man shooting his father 16 times and kidnapping a nun and killing the nun. And one of the relatives, when he was shown this man's face, he says, "All I can see is a face of an evil or a monster." He says, "Yes, I'm a Christian. I believe in the Bible, but I don't think I can ever find it in myself to forgive this man who has killed my relative, my sister." And which is why then I chose this topic. When you look at chapter 1 of the book by Mary, there's somewhere where she says, "Experts who study or teach forgiveness make it clear that when you forgive, you don't gloss over or deny the seriousness of an offense against you. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting, nor does it mean condoning or excusing offenses." Now, what I was looking at to say what makes it so difficult for people to forgive, looking at the scenarios that I've just painted previously. The first issue is no repentance. So where the person does not admit guilt or even come, because at times somebody is just looking for that person to come and say, "I'm sorry for having done 1, 2, 3 to you." So somebody be like, "Okay, but this person, he's not sorry or she's not sorry. There's no admission of guilt. Why should I be forgiving them?" The second one is the issue of heinous crimes. When I mentioned the issue of baby Tepang and the young man who shot his father 16 times, when you're talking to family members and they can see the brutality and the trauma and the scars that the act might have left behind for those, because it's not so much about the person who has been killed or raped, because the child was, if I remember well, I think baby Sepang died and the nun was killed and the father was killed. So those ones are gone. But the ones that are left behind are left with the scars, and they have to every day remember the brutality and the trauma that their relatives went through before they got killed. With apartheid, for instance, some of us were there, were slightly younger, but we remember how it was in the country. And I mean, there are some areas in our country even now where Black people are treated like non-humans. So the third element that I looked at, you say what makes forgiveness difficult is when you are forced or coerced to reconcile with a person. And normally we'll see this in marriages, for instance, where a person will be saying, "My husband is abusing me, my husband beats me every time, my husband does this, does that." And people will be saying to you, "Yeah, Mara, you know, you go through ups and downs. Go back home, go back to your husband. I mean, you left home, got kissed, therefore go back to your husband and reconcile." Or the husband or the wife would be the one that is coercing or forcing the person to say, "Yeah, but you did 1, 2, 3. Hence, I had to either beat you or do whatever that I did to you." So the reconciliation or the forgiveness, when it comes, it's not you saying, yes, I'm forgiving you for having done this to me, but it's coerced or it's forced. Even with apartheid, when you look at it, normally Black people are told that get over it. It happened, yes, let's move forward. So and then they threw in the Rainbow Nation Ubuntu in the mix, making us feel like, yeah, everything is hunky-dory, let's forgive and forget and move forward. So those are some of the things that makes forgiveness forgiveness become very difficult. Another thing is when you're being suppressed. So you want to, you are in a relationship or at work, and you want to point out to a person to say, you did 1, 2, 3 to me, and I would like to state how this made me feel. And the person would not want to be listening to you, and they will, or they will treat you as if you are being petty. So not being heard and being suppressed, and when you want to raise issues that are not sitting well with you, that can also create bitterness in a person, and you end up not wanting to forgive a person. Betrayal. Betrayal is a big thing where you get cheated on, where if you are business partners or somebody is working for you and then they sell trade secrets to your competitors, the next thing you're losing your clients, for instance, because that's part of betrayal as well. Or somebody selling out, or you were preparing to go for an interview and you just happen to, in your excitement, tell somebody who you thought is your friend, and this friend goes behind your back and they end up clinching the deal, whether it's employment or it was a contract that you were looking for. So that kind of betrayal can sit with you and cause bitterness, because especially when the person would not even come back and explain themselves to you to say why they did that. But at times, even if they were to come back, the fact that they did that to you might actually cause you to hate them. And then an apology that comes without a changed behavior, because at times a person can apologize to you just to say, yeah, you know what, let's just get over this matter, let me just apologize better. You can see that the apology didn't come from the heart. The person just did it to just get rid of you so that you are out of their face. And then there's the big one for me, which is self-inflicted conduct or choices that you take. Because at times, let's say you have a relatives that you know they're struggling. Initially, you want to help out, but it comes to a point where it's like, I can no longer help you because I've also got my own challenges and problems. But they keep begging and say, yes, when you are okay, we'll pay you back, blah, blah, blah. And in your heart of hearts, you know that this person can never pay you back, or they'll never be in a position to pay you back. And from the goodness of your heart, you borrowed them the money, and later on they don't pay you back. This is now you having seen that if I do 1, 2, 3, these are the consequences. So from that self-inflicted choices that you make, you may find it hard to forgive, but the forgiveness really should be towards yourself, to say, why did I even allow myself to go with these people to this party, when the inner self, that voice inside of me was saying, when I go there, there might be trouble for me, but you still went. And if something bad happens to you, or you end up, the person who was driving, they do drinking and driving, and then it causes an accident, you get hurt. The question would be, why did you go when you could see that the person was not in a position to be driving? So in a way, that would have been self-inflicted. So you're angry with yourself, and it takes longer from the person that would have inflicted the pain on you. That might also make it difficult to forgive. So those are the pointers that I just looked at to say, these are some of the things that may make it difficult for you to forgive, but especially where there's betrayal, where there's trauma, and you feel you brutality. Because if you have been raped, or in the case of this guy who shot his father 16 times, I don't know how his siblings will be looking at him and saying, we forgive you, brother, for having killed our father and shooting him 16 times. I'll rest my case. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bisi. You know, yeah, and thank you, Mlaro, for making the notes. It's amazing. You have actually taken this beyond what actually the book is saying, but you've applied what is inside the book. And it's quite interesting. You've touched on marriages, apartheid, workplace drama, there's betrayal, there's people apologizing when they really do not even show the remorse. Thank you very much. We really appreciate that. I am not sure, ladies, if you want to come in, inputs, questions, comments, anything that actually goes on. If you need clarity, any questions and comments, everyone. The floor is open to everyone. Thank you very much, Busi. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Oh, and by the way, to just extend a word of appreciation to Maria Mufamadi. Thank you very much. We're worried, we're not seeing you. And many other ladies, I think, have struggled to join in because there was a technical glitch at the beginning.
Thank you very much. Can I also come in after the presentation, Yabusi? When you mentioned all those different areas that forgiveness can apply to, when I hear the word forgiveness, I just think it's probably someone that has done me wrong, but not taking it as far as workplaces, because sometimes you just say corporate bullying and then this person did this and that, and then you move on or you change jobs, but you're still holding them by your heart. Or there is something that you want to do and you share with your friend, and then they go and do something, and then now you just not friends anymore, but not realizing that those are some of the areas that need forgiveness. So for me, it's just a comment and appreciating, because now we're looking at the aspect of forgiveness on a wider lens, and also exploring why other people we don't even want to chill with just because they did 1, 2, 3. Maybe there's the aspect of forgiveness that needs to come in there. When you came to the issue of apartheid and Ubuntu, and just how Black people just need to move on from that, I at times go and inflict that pain by watching certain movies that are made. I know they're produced by white people, but they're showing how things were. I know I was not there, but sometimes when you watch those things, it does something in you, and then you're just like, but now where we are, we just need to be civilized. We just need to do life with white people, but all these things that they did. But I think it just speaks about how sometimes you need to forgive, even though you were not there at that point when that was happening, because now I feel like angibafuni ngoba benze 1, 2, 3. But when we speak about forgiveness, it goes beyond even the things that were done to my ancestors. And yeah, let me pause there, but I just want to appreciate the wider lens that we're looking at forgiveness on. Thank you.
Yeah, hey Mlalo, thank you so much. It actually is deeper than we actually see it, and I'm glad this book has actually shaken us to go beyond just the surface, and actually Busi has actually gone deeper to get us to think beyond the surface regarding forgiveness. You know, very interesting that came up. It's just that my system is running a bit slow. Oh, okay, there we are. I came across a section that was, oh no, it actually deleted, but it's a verse that was quoted. I think it's in Luke chapter 3, verse. Sorry, I'll have to go look at that because my system is actually just not playing. But it says, the verse says, I hope May will help us here. The verse says, if your brother wrongs you and they ask for forgiveness, you forgive them. So it said to me, it gave me the connotation that if they do not ask for forgiveness, it's sort of, that's how I'm just reading it. I'm not saying that's the way it applies. if they ask for forgiveness, you forgive them. So it said sort of partly indirectly, do not ask for forgiveness, then I do not a Christian God will probably read it that way. Even the Bible says only if they ask for forgiveness. So I thought it's probably something that we need to ponder on. People make mistakes, people hurt us, people disappoint us, people betray us, and they do not ask for forgiveness. Give them. I know the reality is you forgive, because there's in the book where is to harbor that bitterness, because it actually hurts you, and sometimes it's not even aware that they're wrong to you. But anyway, thank you so much, Mlalo. Thank you for bringing that up, and we really appreciate at this point that we are at in the discussions.
Yeah, can I just
I do not
add one more thing I forgot?
Sure.
That there's also this thing that people want to put a timeline to forgiveness. Like we all heal differently. So, but for somebody else, and going back to that issue of that lady who poured boiling water on her husband on an issue that happened 10 years ago, it could be that she was not validated or never had, but her timeline, healing timeline, was longer than somebody else. So I think in travesty, what happens to me might take longer for me to heal than what happens to you, but you might heal quicker than
absolutely. That is just so crucial, very, very crucial. Thank you very much for bringing that up. The timelines are different. We all differently coil. I see Mahatla Tepa. Go ahead, May.
Oh, good afternoon, everyone. I just wanted to agree with Busi on the timeline that sometimes, you know, a lot of people or society in general would expect one to move on and forgive somebody because you'll hear comment like, but it's long that you've been harboring this thing for so long. Why don't you just let go and forgive and move on? But at that point in time, you're not really ready to draw a line to say that I have forgiven this person, but I'm not ready to be in the same space with this person, because sometimes people tend to think that forgiveness means that we can now be in the same space, or think it means forgiveness erase everything that this person has done to you. The differs from one person to the other in terms of how one would want to be in the same space, or even continue with the friendship if you were a friend with this person who is asking for forgiveness. Or somebody can forgive but play far, say that I continue, do your own thing and I do my own thing. It's less of a forgiveness. So I think forgiveness differs from one individual to the other, and also that there's absolutely no time frame for forgiveness. If I want to keep this thing for as long as I want, to say that I'll forgive you after 20 years or after 40 years, it's okay for me. So instead of me to say that, but it will eat you. What if it is not eating me? What if I'm at peace not forgiving you? So I think somehow we tend to also misuse the word of God, because people like the word of God to force forgiveness on other people, to say that, but as
forcing people and using the word of God to like manipulate people. It should be your sender myself to you. to me is the Spirit of God dictate to me how I should handle this. And God at his view will tell you, and you will feel inside of it. Really should not, you're right, I agree with you. It should not be individuals trying to relating us. Oh, is she here? All right. Mufamadi, I did not see you on the okay. Welcome. There's one wonderful book, which I believe it for us to learn about forgiveness. Thank you very much, Mayor. Please go ahead.
Thank you and welcome everybody. I would like to thank everyone who have joined the session. I also liked the discussion that was going on. Let me start by answering some of the questions that were there. The first one says, if they don't ask for forgiveness, do I forgive them? It is forgiveness, because some people may not know that they have done something wrong to you. And sometimes when you didn't ask them, because sometimes if you go and ask them, they may make the wound worse, because maybe you'll find them in other spaces that will also hurt you. With it, I think it's still fine with you as long as you are not getting hurt, because the main purpose of writing this book was to avoid hurt in people, to avoid pain. But if you're not forgiving and you're not feeling pain, it's fine. Thank you.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah.
Thank you, Ma'am Mufamadi. Were you just addressing the questions that were raised? Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, ladies. I think Ma'am Mufamadi has tried to cover all the questions and concerns and comments that we made that she felt needed us to get clarity on. I'm not sure if there are still some other ladies who would like to ask some questions for guidance or any comments, any other comments. There still is a few minutes.
Sorry, I question.
Yes, ma'am.
So one question. Is it binding to be in one place after? Because as people, we have to have boundaries when we live daily. And then after the questions and answers, Mlalo will play a song before we get on the stage with Lerato. Thank you.
Thanks very much, ma'am. Thank you. Appreciate. I would like to just read what we have on the chat. Nomnebo has written, betrayal goes deep because the other person has done whatever they did. They say forgiveness is the gift you give to yourself, but there are triggers that bring things up. What do you do when that happens? Ma'am Mufamadi, there's another question there. What happens then when you get these triggers? I think there's somewhere Milaro also wrote to say, I'm watching a movie and suddenly I see this and it brings up this pain that this person actually hurt me. So what do you do when that happens? When you see